Hello FLOSSTUBE, it's Lee from Creative Lee on Sunday 16th of February 2020, here with FLOSSTUBE number 15. Hey, I'm over 100 subscribers. It's pretty exciting, so thanks to all of my subs. Appreciate your support, and welcome to anyone who's new here or popped by. I'm a FLOSSTUBE YouTube channel predominantly about cross stitch, although this one will probably be a quick one because this was just the worst week ever. So there's not a little bit of cross stitch. Certainly not going to be the most exciting channel where, I'm not going to have massive haul videos and tons of stash and tons of whips, because that's just not how I roll. I don't have tons of stash, and I sort of buy things as I plan to start them, because that's just how I am. I don't want to have a massive stash of stuff. No, that's not true. I'd love to have a massive stash of stuff. Let's be real. I mean, if I could go in and just go, oh, I feel like some 36 count, blah, blah, blah. It'd be nice to go into my room, but I have other priorities right now, which includes a significant amount of investment in landscaping and my new build. But I have to be disciplined. Basically, I have to be disciplined, and as I found out a couple of weeks ago, a large tooth that we've been watching for about 5 years with an old filling from my sinful past has showing signs now that it's time to do something about it. So, do something now to avoid having to have a root canal later. So I need to get a crown done in March, and that's $1,500. So that's a lot of stash, right? Yeah, but I have to do my tooth because I want to keep it. It's ironic, really, because a crown means you don't have much tooth, but the structure. Just tea today. But anyway, so yeah, this week has been work was ridiculous. It's like on Thursday, my friend Lauren and I, we went to a movie. It feels like at the moment the only way I can leave work at a reasonable hour, aka like at 5 o'clock, is if we have a movie book to go to, because I worked till 8 one evening. I know I got home at 9:30, got 9:39, I think 6, 7, so that wasn't too bad. And this is when I'm starting work by 9 at the latest, but this week I started one day at 7:30 and one day at 8, and it's like 11-hour days. It's just ridiculous. So I was like, I think Tuesday I got home, Monday or Tuesday I got home, it's like 9:30, I went, oh, hello house, it's really nice to have you, and I went straight to bed. So no stitching for me until the weekend, basically. I think did I do some Friday night? I don't even think, no, Friday night I was in bed by 8:30. I was absolutely knackered after this horrendous week. But I do have a business analyst, a new resource starting on Monday, which, fingers crossed he's good. He's on contract, but he can take, spend a couple of days to, Monday's all induction stuff, but then sort of Tuesday, Wednesday I can spend, a good portion of the day doing a massive download from my pages and pages of notes and what's in my head, because I've sort of been covering the business analyst role. And I've got a job advert out still for a fixed term contract project coordinator, which again will help, because I've got one really, really large project with lots of work streams and one smaller but quite short project, but quite condensed, that I just I need help basically. So, and like this week coming, I just can't keep working long hours. I don't cook proper food, I don't do any exercise. All I do is go to work, come home exhausted and sleep, and it's like not making me happy. And I can't, if I'm not stitching, then that's my stress release. So it just builds and builds and builds until like Friday when I'm just, okay, I'm in bed. And, you know, I was awake at 4:30 on Saturday though, 4:30 a.m, a bit early. Anyway, I basically have been a hermit this weekend. So I pretty much got a good 12 hours stitching in this weekend through, you know, outside of housework, and I had a repairman come to fix my dishwasher on Saturday. Nothing major, but it's under warranty. This little button kept falling off. So I worked on, don't have a picture because there isn't one. I picked up my Mysterious Adventure project, aka map from Ink Circles. This was a sort of choose your own adventure, stitch your own adventure kind of project. Not sure if it's still available. I know that she's asked for beta stitches for the next one, which is going to be space themed. I didn't offer to be a model stitcher or a test stitcher, just test all the instructions. Also, I'm not going to do it. I'll show you my map in a minute. I'm really struggling with it. It has a lot of stitching and I'm a little bit over it, but I want to also finish it. Anyway, so the fabric is 36 count bramble by Picture This Plus, and I'm stitching 1/2. And basically you basically are stitching a map, and I'm filling in all the motifs. I've just about got all the large motifs done, then I can do little houses and fillers, but here it is here. So it's basically the Bay of St. Bronna. That is what that is in Gaelic Irish, as far as I'm aware. What did I do this yesterday? And I stitched the castle and the dragon. I did my own colours for that. What else on that side? Nothing else on that side. Down here I'm going to have some grazing beasts, I think they're elk, and some little houses. Over here I did the volcano, and X marks the spot, hence my pirate ship down there. And those balloons, and there's going to be some trees and things, and this sort of Celtic cross stone, which is next to the abbey, or basically St. Bronna was when she was a nun living in an abbey, she would rescue shipwrecked sailors and give them shelter while they recovered, so that's why I've named it that. And then I've stitched the vineyard. Well, it looks way better on camera than it does in person. So there's my vines, and then I've also got a little apple orchard, or a fruit orchard, I guess, an apple orchard down there. And I've started on this mountain range, which will come up here, and I might do another one in here. And then I do have a snowy topped mountain I want to throw in here somewhere, which not sure where that'll go. And then some birds and a whole lot of sprinkly bits, so lots of trees, and then more little waves and little bits of grass, so you can tell that this is land and this is ocean. I mean, this is a fat quarter, so pretty much filling it up. There's a lot of stitching, and I'm just a little over it. Just a bit sick of it. Anyway, I did quite a bit, so I'll put it away for another couple of weeks. I had hoped to get it finished by the end of January, but I didn't even barely stitch on it in January. Oh, my hair's clean and it's making my nose itch. Because of my dodgy finger, I didn't wash my hair for 12 days. It's pretty terrible, right? But I just kept it up in a ponytail, stepped it in a ponytail. It's summer, if you don't get really hot and sweaty. And I went to work on Friday maybe I washed it on Friday morning, and my friend goes, oh, your hair's really light. Well, first of all, I think it was only the second time I've washed it since I had it coloured last, and then the dye fades. natural grey. But I mean, I'm white in here. Terrible. Anyway, not about my hair. And I'm like, yeah, well, I washed it because it's been filthy, but it's kind of gross, but I don't really care. My hair's in pretty good condition, probably because I don't overwash it. So, it's, you know, but it's just fluffy at the moment because I haven't done anything with it. And then because that's basically all I worked on yesterday, and I felt like, because it's not, I enjoyed that project, I enjoyed the planning more than the actual, and I enjoyed doing the outline, the border weird, eh? I think because you were just rolling, like basically with the coastline, you were rolling dice and flipping a coin and then just stitching like whatever the combination came up with. So it was kind of quite fun and mindless. So you just like, boo, watching telly. Then filling in all these little motifs had just been less fun. I'm just a bit sick of it. I'm not framing it. I'm going to make it into some sort of roll up sort of thing and just pop it on one of my shelves as with my travel books or something, and it's a little, I don't know, whatever. It's been fun and I'm a bit over it. Anyway, we'll get it finished before too long. So then I'm like, I can't just show you one whip. I mean, I could, but far out, 5-minute video, see ya. So this morning, what is it now? What's the time? 12:30? It's, yeah, 1:30 PM on Sunday. So this morning I thought I'll pick up the blue flower. Night walk down and do a bit more of the border because I had done one side in the bottom, and so I just worked my way up here this morning. So I'm stitching that on 40 count pewter linen from Picture This Plus, and I'm using a combination of called for overdyed, called for DMC, and my own substitution overdye and my own substitution DMC. So it's a bit of a mix. We'll see what it looks like when I actually finish it, because I've already changed one of the colours that I said I was going to stitch. So this morning I got this side done, so basically just whipped that up. So yeah, next time I pick this up, hopefully this week, I'll finish the 2 corners and then get that top border done, and that means it's all ready for the pretty stuff in the middle, which will be nice, right? So and then I realised how tired I was this morning. I started with the white on this really pale linen, and it's a bit hard to see, but the dark's fine. I just not in the mood for 40 count. Blah, blah, blah. So I've got, yeah, I'm looking forward to having a break from the map. I'm working on probably they're the only things I've got to work on really. Night walk down and my Quaker Seasons of Friendship, which is 40 count as well, but easy. The fabric's lighter, so it's easier to see. And I'm not using white. I'm not trying to stitch white on really pale fabric, which is just stab and hope you got the right hole really. But when I did the fill in with the dark, it was fine, so you know, whatever. No new starts, no haul. I do need to work out my budget around this unexpected, well, yeah, sort of unexpected dentist bill. So I probably won't put an order through for my March start, which is going to be Halloween Quaker. I want to start that now, autumn, and the idea being I could have it finished by Halloween. And Tara, the 805 stitcher, is in theory we're going to do a sale together, but you know, but I just swapped with her I traded a chart, and that was what I traded her for. Just asked her to pick one, and she said she had 2 copies because her mom had one in her stash, so she swapped with me. But I'll probably end up starting that nearer the end of March, because I don't think I'm going to get my fabric and stuff until March, because I'm running out of February, and it won't be this pay coming. So yeah, work was ugh, sob, frown, bore. It's just so intense. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, when I was meant to put a link last week, I was made some bagels, and a couple of people have asked for the recipe, so I'm going to put a link both to the original place that I got the recipe from online, and also a link to my summarized version of it, because it's one of those blog type posts where you have to scroll through a whole lot of stuff to find the actual recipe. And also I've adapted it to metric weight measurements, because I'm in New Zealand and I like to weigh stuff with my digital scale, so I weigh everything. So rather than a quarts and pints and cups and stuff, I'm using grams, so 330 grams of water, or warm water, and 15 grams of dried yeast, sort of thing, rather than, I think it was like 3 3/4 teaspoons, which is that takes way too long to measure when you can just go shake 15 grams, whatever it is. So I'll put that in the bottom, the doobly-doo below, so that'll be there. But I'll show you quickly my bagels. So those were the everything bagels that I made, and then I made some sesame seed ones, which, yes, the sesame seeds, I perhaps was a little generous. Just think of it as increasing the protein content of your bagel, but I took these, I made 2 batches and delivered them to friends and stuff, and they were like, these are really good. They're really good. And the everything bagel, I'm going to change. I'm going to make notes in I've made notes in the recipe around, because I put in what I've adapted the quantities. It was too salty, too garlicky, and so I've adjusted that just to say, look, this is what I would do next time I made them. But anyway, they're so good and so easy to make. So if you like making bread, bagels are so easy. So yeah, I love making bread. I did a couple of bread classes and just I enjoy bread. But this is a bit of a pain. Speaking of my finger, this one, I had mentioned that I was waiting on an ultrasound appointment. It wasn't till the end of the month. But I got a call on Wednesday. There was a cancellation at the Pacific Radiology, which is across the road from where I work. So, 2 minutes to get there. So I snapped that up and went and had an ultrasound. Good news, healing really well, no significant injury. Basically, it shows some inflammation in the sheath around. What did she say? She said I don't know if she said it is the pulley or it acts like a pulley. So the tendon that pulls this up, basically it's inflamed around it, so it looks like it's been inhibiting the action. But I've had it strapped now for nearly 2 weeks, and been doing my little cardio exercises on my finger, and it's heaps better. So I went back to the physio on Friday, because I said come back the day after. And I went back to say, I'm hoping you can tell me I don't have to strap it anymore. And she said, yes, that's you don't. You can stop strapping it in 2 to 4 weeks. So basically, she said for a tendon injury, you want at least 4 to 6 weeks. But it's not really any need at this stage for anything more than just keeping it strapped and doing the little pressure pulley up exercises. And she said in a couple of weeks, go without the strapping for a little bit and just see how it is, and just ease into it really. And then if I get no further improvement, then go back, and she'll refer me to the hand clinic, which is a specialist hand clinic. But anyway, it's good news. So no surgery, it's not badly injured, it was just she said it's the kind of injury that is very consistent with having a hard knock, which is exactly what I did. So yeah, so yay me. I'm glad, because I didn't want surgery. Previous start. This is, I dragged something out of the old stash pile, or the finished pile, and this I finished in 2002. I borrowed this chart from, I know I got this chart from a friend, again, not sure if it was in a magazine or a standalone chart. I feel like it was in a magazine, and I'm pretty sure that I changed the green that was in the border. I think it was green, but I changed mine to a slightly less grass green. Anyway, it was more of a primary green, and mine's a slightly yellower green. If I stitched it now, I'd probably just change it to an orange, but that's okay. So, and it's just, I was going through an owl phase back in the day. I do think owls are pretty fascinating birds, and it's just all these weird little owls. I think it was called crazy owls or kooky owls or something, I don't know. So yeah, 2012, cute. I think this one will fit in some kind of standard frame. It's on the list. I just can only do so much. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's short and sharp this week. Mostly my woes. I did go to a movie. So yeah, movie update of the fortnight. We went to Richard Jewell, which, gee, I love Sam Rockwell. He's such a cool actor. So I loved him. I loved his character in, was it 3 Billboards? Oh, I can't even say it. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing something. Is that what it's called? Ebbing, is it Missouri? I don't even know. I apologise if I get that completely wrong. Which was a fantastic film. And, you know, his character was just so, anyway, flawed. And then he just really had him. Anyway, he grew on you. So he played the lawyer in this film, and I've read some criticisms about how it portrayed the reporter, and I'm like, I don't know, I felt empathy. So part of it is, how much is she the product of her environment? Like, I felt quite empathetic towards her, because kind of, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. She sort of certainly portrayed her as being, you know, at the end feeling differently than perhaps she had, you know, having some remorse or what have you. But like, that's what's expected of that. You know, it's hard. How much do you get sucked into the nature of the environment that you work in, and the expectation is that you'll be tough and like you want to get the story out first, and you'll do anything to get the story kind. I don't know. I didn't think it was that. I think people are a bit like, they jump too quickly to freak out about stuff. But Kathy Bates was excellent. I think the actor who played Richard Jewell was maybe a bit old, because he's meant to be 33, because when he goes, I'm 33, it was like, and the rest. I mean, but then, you know, he probably wasn't the most healthy individual. He was, you know, very overweight and suffering from heart disease, it turns out. So perhaps he looked more aged, but he did a great job. And then there was this line, which isn't going to give anything away, but where his lawyer friend Watson is asking him, you know, they're preparing for the FBI to come around, and he's like, okay, have you got any guns? He's like, okay, Richard, have you got any guns in the house? And Richard just looks at him with this complete deadpan expression. It says something like, we're in Georgia, like, duh. It was such a good line. It was so funny. It was funny. I mean, it was sad and funny and tragic and awful, and I've got to start watching these true freaking based on a true story things. Because yeah, did I cry? Sure, I cried. I'll cry at the butter ad. I mean, yeah, crazy, eh? Anyway, so that was movie of the fortnight. Not sure what we're going to go to next fortnight, but we will go to something. So, as I said, it makes me leave the house. It makes me leave work on time, which is great. I thought I'd get home early though. That's it really. So yeah, I'm not going to do any Q&A or anything. Oh, okay, so that's at least twice I've said that's that, right? Just a wee note, last week I did a little bit of, hey, about me and my family and stuff, and as I was editing it, I was like, I didn't mention my mum at all. So my mum, or Ma as I called her, I added a wee note at the bottom, which I got so many comments from people, and thank you so much, everyone's so lovely. It's going to be 10 years this year since we lost Mum, and she had a long, you could say lifelong battle, right, with cigarettes, and suffered for a long time with COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, aka emphysema, and I can't remember who, because so many people commented on how they're either got a family member with it or they lost a family member, usually often a parent, because it's the age we are, right, to this hideous disease, and had mentioned, we were cleaning out Mum's house and found a packet of ciggies, and it's like, yep, we found a packet of cigarettes when we cleaned out Mum's house as well. She couldn't actually inhale. She had no breath, but she tried. Addiction's horrible. Whatever the addiction is, it's an illness, and your body gets addicted to the substance. And I would never want. It's just, watching her essentially slowly suffocating to death over a number of years, and those kind of illnesses, they take their person long before they die, because their personality goes when you're struggling for every breath, when you're housebound and reliant on an oxygen tank and can't sleep well and can't look after yourself well, where just walking to the bathroom and back is all the energy you have for the next couple of hours. It's just horrendous, and that just takes the person away. So we feel like we lost her a long time before, quite a while before she actually passed away. But anyway, I like to try and remember the fun mum we had before she became really ill, and all the adventures we got up to, my sister, and me and Mum, and that, and the love of handcraft and stuff that she gave, the skills that I have, the knowledge of sewing and knitting and all these things, which colouring in and doing jigsaw puzzles and making things. She was always, encouraged us to do creative things, which was really, really cool. So thanks to everyone who said lovely things, and my empathy goes out to you as well. If everyone has something. This is the thing. Like no one is immune. No one is immune from the tough times. So everyone knows someone. Everyone's had someone they've lost, or have someone, their family, or maybe themselves, who aren't well or struggling with various things, and it's not unique. Where, hopefully through sharing our love of craft and cross stitch and creating things, we can bring some happiness to ourselves, relieves ourselves from stress. We can create something lovely, I think if we put a little bit of ourselves into every stitch, certainly at times I've bled for my craft, especially when you get distracted and slide that needle under the thumbnail. That's a great moment. That's when you know you're truly alive, when you go, ugh. But anyway, I just want to say thanks to everyone. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up now for sure. And until next time, which probably might not be next week, because next weekend I'm pretty busy with socialising, but we'll see. If I do some cross-stitching, I'll find a way to squeeze in a wee video. So yeah, in the meantime, don't let your needles rust, and take care. Ciao.